everybody, what's going on? I'm Amenadel, aka Green Grove Guy, Philadelphia urban farmer, going from concrete, as you see, to lots of food. All right. Before we get into our video today, I'm gonna ask everybody, please and thank you for hitting the subscribe, all right, and the notification bell so y'all know when I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you content. All right. Next thing that I want to get into, guys, is y'all know we got that burpee sponsorship. So everybody, capital letters, save 626 and get 20% off on burpees.com. All right, and tell them Green Grove Guy sent you, because I just did. Save 626 burpees.com. I sent you. Let them know all that. Okay, we asked for the sponsor. We got it. So now let's do something with it. I'm trying to. You know I do it. And look at the food that is growing. All right, straight burpees products. Second, my knees. I'm 44, y'all. I'm getting old. Third, I want to thank Charlie B and Bizarroville Peanut Gang for giving me a shout out. You know what I mean? On your actual channel. I really appreciate it. I'm a Philadelphia urban farmer out here really trying to show people, you know what I mean, how to live self-sustained. And somebody with a platform as big as yours, Charlie B, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the Peanut Gang, because I'm really just trying to spread the word, you know what I mean, after 30 years in commercial agriculture, you know what I mean. So I really appreciate that, you know what I mean. Thank you. I love your content. My wife loves your content, and keep speaking the truth on your channel, brother. You know what I mean, for sure. With that being said, y'all, let's get into this video. Okay, everybody, so here's the deal. I've been saying I am going to give you a June part 2 garden tour, and that's exactly what this is. And I know you're like, see, you just be saying stuff, but I really wasn't just saying stuff. One of the reasons why I waited is, number one, is because this is June 30th, all right? I gave the initial tour June 11th, okay? So I wanted to give a nice time lapse so you could see what it really gives after maybe about 15 days or so of just growing. You really are just seeing 15 days of growth. Some of the things you've never seen, but I can definitely give you comparison videos if I have them from other videos, because some of these things we grew from seed, y'all. And wait till you see what we got going on. I'm gonna stop running my mouth because y'all know I run my mouth. Y'all know I do that. But you know what? Let me just do what I usually do, is run my mouth and then turn the camera around so you can see the food forest. Okay, so guys, today, first of all, we're gonna step back and we're gonna take a look and we're gonna see all the food. I have a story right here about this tree, and I think my wife did it. I'm gonna zoom. Sorry, focus. I think my wife did it, y'all. I think my wife did it. Okay, very first thing that we're going to talk about, guys, is this fruit cocktail tree. Okay, amazing buy. You can go back in a lot of my videos and they're going to be labeled fruit cocktail tree, and I'm talking about this. This is something that I bought pretty much bare root. Okay, 3 years later, this is what I have. All right, 3 years later, from bare root, this is what you will have. Look at the amount of fruit that's on this. And I'm going to tell you, this is the second year. Get over here for you guys. This is the second year that this tree has harvested. Get into this amount of fruit. Okay? And the reason why I like showing people the amount of fruit that I have, guys, is because I'm growing it, as you can see, on top of the concrete in a 100-gallon container. Okay? So don't feel like because you live in small spaces or more urban spaces that you can't be a part of, you know what I mean, sustaining your own food consumption, because you can. All right, so right here next I have roses, and I use these roses as pollinators. Now I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I tell you on the other videos I be beating this rose bush up because I really just use it as pollinators, and it's really hard to kill roses. Okay, I did cut all the roses off because I recently moved it out front, because I have a lot of stuff going on up here, and I really have to add as many pollinators as I can. You know what I'm saying? Because here I had tiger lilies, but they're done for the season. These are mums, all right, that are in the front. Right now they're dormant, as they should be. We're going to get to some mums that aren't dormant, and they're getting on my nerves. Like, for sure. So the plan with this planting right here, and by the way, this is another container. This is a 50-gallon container, okay? And this is holding a grapevine, tiger lilies, and mums. And the way that I set this up, guys, is in the fall, all these mums are going to be blossom, and it's going to still have, decoration. In the summer, these just fell off and died, those tiger lilies. But if you go back in my other videos, you will see pictures of them in the summer looking beautiful. These are, all of these down here, we bought very, very small. And like I said, you guys can always go back and look at the videos. We didn't even have this many tiger lilies. We had only bought 2 tiger lilies. But if you only buy 2 and you keep them year by year, because these are things that come back every year if you take care of them the right way, okay? And I give you videos and I show you how to do it. Because winterizing your plants is something that's really important. Just as important, guys. It's just as important. It's just as important as giving it nutrients and water during the actual season. Okay, and it also gives you a lot of time to correct some of the things that you may see, especially in your fruit plants. Certain things with fruit plants, like copper imbalances and things like that, you're only able to treat them in the spring. In the fall. Excuse me. So don't say, okay, I have this super break. No, definitely winterize your plants, because there's a lot of plants that you can keep. All right, and when you're able to keep your fruit plants, your just plants, period, they get bigger and better the next season. And that's what you want. With that being said, we're going to talk about something I kept and let get big for this season. Okay, now this is another product that I bought from FastGrowingTrees.com, and guys, they do sponsor me. You know what I mean? They do sponsor me, Fast Growing Trees. I do give promos, and I will attach their promos in this video. Okay, so you guys can get their deals as well, because look what they're giving me. All right, look at this. These are Niagara white grapes. Okay, and you guys see how beautiful those look? All right, now I have until the end of August for these to mature. But let me zoom in, and you guys will see. That's not just one bunch. It's not just 2 bunches, 3 bunches. Not just 4 bunches or 5 bunches. And I promise you, not just 6 bunches. You know what I mean? Over here, we'll have 7 bunches. Like, we have about 10 or 12 bunches of grapes that we were visibly able to spot growing phenomenally. Okay? So we're definitely going to have grapes this year, as you guys can see, and an abundance of it. And this is how I wind up giving food away, for real. Because I can't eat 12 bunches of grapes in a week, 2 weeks. My wife, we are getting into preserving, canning. We do dehydrate some things. But there's nothing wrong with sharing your food, and that's the point of doing this. It's showing people the power of their carbon footprint and how you can really make a difference and change a lot of things that are going on by just being a little proactive. You know what I mean? And guys, you'll love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. All right. Now here, the next thing that we're going to go to, guys, and I'm really proud of this. I love when I grow things from seed, and then they just do so wonderful. All right. And I'm actually step back, because now this is in a 25 gallon right here. All right. This is 25 gallons. And what's beside it right here is also in a 25 gallon. All right. On top of the concrete. And I'm standing back so you guys can get an idea of how big these actually grew from seed. Okay. Oh, look at the focus. And we're losing focus because I got to just go up so high. We're halfway up the front of my house, like a quarter of the way up my house. Okay, my wife is 6'2", and they're bigger than her. So right now they're probably like 7.5 feet, I would say, at its tallest, maybe like 7'9". Okay, and these are our Monmouth sunflowers. As I move up, guys, look what's happening. Look what's happening. Oh my god. Like, this is the moment, y'all. It's so rewarding. And guys, I have to actually climb up. I actually have to climb up the stairs and look at this over my stairway, because I'm only 5'4", y'all. So let me change my angle. y'all see what I see? Look at this, y'all. Look at it. Look. I love it. They're so tall. And I came out yesterday and I saw that they were beginning to open. I got ecstatic. Like, because of so much color, so much beauty, you know what I mean, that it's going to add to the front. You know what I mean? I haven't grown sunflowers in a while, y'all. And we grew those from seed, y'all. From seed. Come on, green grow guy. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm going to count down. Because y'all seeing good stuff, but it only gets better from here. Lots of food. All right. Y'all know what this is, right? Y'all know what this is. This is something else, y'all, that we planted from seed. Right here. All right? Do y'all see baby? You see baby girl? Y'all see baby girl? And her sister over there? Y'all see baby girl? Y'all see her sister over there? You see their little 4-inch bust down? Okay, they got a little 4-inch bust down. Okay? And we're not going to be mad at it. All right, now let me give you the lowdown on this corn. Okay, this is the oldest stalk in the back. I initially had 3 stalks. And I don't know what happened to my other 2. They had just died. But it was so early on in the season, I was able to plant another 2 stalks, get them in the ground. So these are about 3 weeks younger than this actual stalk right here. Which is, you guys can see, the younger stalks are right here. And the oldest stalk already has its pollen coming out. Like 50% of the head is opened up here. And this is the pollinator, all right? So what happens is I want to knock it so you guys can see the dust, but you really have to watch closely. I want to make sure it's not doing it. So what this is, guys, when you come in, you tap this, okay? You are knocking the pollen down into these little crevices. And this is where the silks come out in these crevices. And this is what creates the corn. Now what happens is I do knock the pollen off onto a piece of paper and I grab baby girl by her bust down and I dip these hairs all up in there, okay? And what happens is once you get the pollen on there and the pollen pollinates, okay, you start to give her a little ombre. You see how she get the little ombre? You know what I mean? She got the highlights. She starts to turn brown. And that's how you know that she's got pollinated, okay? So that's what you want to see happen. And you don't want to see it dry out extremely fast because that's a possibility that it didn't pollinate as well. And you want to get it on as many hairs as possible because each hair is a kernel. Each hair is a kernel of corn. So if you are growing corn, you're getting it successful, and your corn is not 100% filled with the kernels and there's still empty spaces, when you hand pollinate it, if you're not hand pollinating it, start. But when you do hand pollinate it, make sure you get it on as many of the silk hairs as you possibly can because each silk hair is a kernel. And within minutes, okay, it will go down and start making the kernels. So once you do it, you've done it. So if you do it 2-3 times, you're going to have a substantial amount of corn kernels per ear. And that's what you want. All right? But look at this stuff, guys. Isn't it beautiful? And I just came out this morning and I see I got some more pollen on the way. So that means that these are about to start doing their big ones. All right? But what I want to tell you guys, along with that, is this is the importance of phosphate and potassium. Okay? Once your food starts to flower, okay, and produce the food, phosphate and potassium, well, phosphate's always your best friend, guys. But phosphate and potassium mixed together is what's going to make this juicy and what's going to make it nice and thick and naturally, okay? So, and you're definitely going to want to scale back on the nitrogen. Even though it's corn, you're still going to scale back on the nitrogen because you want fruit development. And nitrogen in a lot of situations can hinder them. You know what I mean? Only time I'll come out here and give some nitrogen to my corn is if I see it's like excessively yellow due to lack of nitrogen. And that would be identifiable. And if you don't know what it looks like, take a picture of your plant, y'all. Don't be afraid to take pictures. Don't be afraid to take pictures of your plants. And ask Google, because I'm not always around. But if you do want to ask me a question, I actually created a comment section on the channel, and you can post pictures, ask things. And if I know, I'm going to tell you. Because I want you to win. I want your teeth to be up on your food. Like, if my teeth are up on my food. You know what I'm saying? But right now, that's what we got going on only out front. Okay? One of the things that I want to let you guys know about growing this food out front is a lot of people have concerns of people messing with their food, just lots of different things. And I will be honest and tell you, my neighbors see my mission, they see what I'm trying to do, and they respect it, just like you would respect it, ultimately. You know what I mean? Will you have a kid that picks off a piece of fruit here and there? Yeah, but all in all, parents be like, don't touch that, because they understand what's going on. You know what I mean? So don't let what you assume or speculate might happen stop you from doing this, and try it out. And I'm gonna be honest, sometimes you got to condition people into having something or getting used to seeing it, and then they're like, oh, that ain't nothing, that's just XYZ. I have so many neighbors from around the community that come by and they just stop, look at the house, and they're like, the greenery is beautiful, and they keep moving. They see the grapes, they don't touch them. They see the peaches, apricots, and nectarines, they don't touch it. They see the sunflowers, they don't break them. You know what I mean? So really get into that. You know what I mean? And go with it as far as you can. Maybe you might not be able to do as much as I do. You know what I'm saying? But do what you can. Now, let's get ready to rumble. It's like, no, let's get ready to go in the back. All right? And really take a look at the Green Grow Garden of Eden. And here we are, everybody, in the Green Grow Garden of Eden. Now, I'm sorry if you see my hand, I'm giving it a little shade, so the glare is allowing you to really see and get into the food production. I'm gonna walk up close with y'all and show y'all how much food is actually, what's really going down, how much food is actually here. But I'm not gonna hit this area up first because of the fact that this was part one. I just want to show you the progress. Matter of fact, I think I'm about to picture in picture June 11th, because I want you to see the progress and growth. We're actually going to have a whole series on propagating everything, and I'm going to be able to give away a lot of food because of it, and plants for people to start. So if you are in the Philadelphia area, please get into my inbox if you are interested in starting your own garden, because I am very soon going to have plants available. And when I do, I don't have to look for you. I'll just hit you up, say, hey, I got some plants, you want to come pick them up, or do you want them delivered? And we go from there, y'all. But let's get into this Green Grow Garden of Eden. Okay, everybody, so this is what is inside the polycarbonate house. All right, lots of times you guys see it on video, the actual shell of the polycarbonate house, but we don't really go through it. Okay, and today we definitely are. So I'm gonna start on the bottom, guys. This was a hanging basket that had fell, and is one of the things that made me prompted me to do the urban garden fence reconstruction and make it 100% more durable, add more pots on it, and let it do its big one. It's not that I can't add this pot, I just didn't hang the bracket up, and it's doing fine right here. So I was like, oh, okay, if I hang it up, y'all, I hang it up. If I don't, I don't. But we are going to get into the beauty of the collards, and collards that I'm gonna be honest with you, I've already eaten so much of this, because this isn't my only collard. Now I would suggest you grow, like, if you have a family of 4, I would suggest growing between like at least 9, having 9 collard plants. But as you see, you can put 3 in a window planter. You know what I mean? So that's just 3 window planters, hung on a fence, and it's producing enough. And when I say enough, like Thanksgiving pot enough, if you're growing them right. Because when I did make them, it was on that level. Like we had leftovers, and it fed a family of 4. But your seeds, and that's what's important as well. And that's why I always tell you guys, neem oil. Okay, you guys see the quality of the leaves, and we're actually into the summer. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that nothing gets bit by this point, but you guys know that something is happening because of the quality of the leaves. Now, even this plant right here that we're about to move on to, that is ate up, guys. How is this a sacrifice plant? Okay, I bought 2 sacrifice plants, and they were pepper plants. When you garden, aphids and stuff, they love pepper plants. So I bought these little hot pepper plants. I just really randomly picked them up, little chili pepper plants. And I said, I'm going to plant some zinnias, and I'm going to let them aphids go ham, because zinnias are plants that attract bugs so that the bugs eat the zinnias and the plants that the zinnias are around and not the plants that you really want. Okay, so it was a decoy and it worked. Now I will keep it a bean. I did water them just like I watered everything else because I wanted them to live, to a certain extent, because I wanted the bugs to be able to keep eating them. Okay, well, once the season changed and I successfully defeated them with neem oil and got all the critters under control, look what decided to happen. She done made me mad. And I said, oh, girl, wait, you not gonna die? You not gonna die, girl? Okay, girl. So let me put you in some soil. And y'all, why is she growing and coming back to life? Even if I don't get nothing off of her this year, these are plants that you can keep. So next year, she'll be just fine. Like, you know what I mean? And really giving me really bodacious peppers. So I have her right here. But look at her friend. Look what she's doing, y'all. She was another plant. She's the same hot pepper that I then planted to get ate up. And look, this one actually has fruit on it. Stop, peppers on it. Stop, don't do me. So I was excited about that because, food is food and extra food is phenomenal. But I did buy these chili peppers. Y'all can see we got a lot of these on here. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for the color to change on these bad boys. You know what I mean? I have another one over here. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't have as many over here. But all these flowers are definitely getting pollinated because I'm knocking them all around because I'm not playing that game. I'm about giving me my food. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, trust me. Soon as I start clipping this thing, because it's ready for me to start clipping it and getting these peppers off, I know I'm not going to have a problem with getting peppers. Because that's one thing about peppers. When you clip them, once you cut the first one, it's like jackpot. And then they just start coming and coming and coming. So always keep an eye on your peppers. Keep an eye on your peppers because they grow fast. You know what I mean? Especially when you're taking care of them, they grow really fast. And the more you cut them off as they grow at the right time, the more you get. And those are plants that you can keep all year round. You can winterize those. And don't be afraid to do it. You know what I mean? These are, like I said, I bought these as some decoy plants, but they're decoys that survive. So I'm all about the survival of the decoy plants. So, because I'm ready to put my teeth up on it. You know what I mean? So that's something going on inside the polycarbonate house. And I'm going to be honest, the only reason why I don't have them out here is because of the fact that I didn't think they was going to live. So, you know what I mean? Look, it's tight. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I can't get not one more plant. You know what I mean? But I am. You know I am. You know what I mean? We gonna make it work. You know what I mean? But when we get up here, we're going to go into the watermelon cantaloupe table. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This grow table really did its big one with the potatoes. And if you watch the video, I would have loved to keep them down maybe like an extra 10 or 20 days. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't weather permitting. So I had carrots over here and I had potatoes over here. Now we did our summer transition and everything that you see staked up. These are watermelons. These are red watermelons. I'm actually going a variety, but look how beautiful they look, guys. Look how beautiful. So that's one. Well, this is actually two plants, one plant. So we got a good amount of watermelon. This one I didn't stake up because I wanted it to grow a little longer because I don't want to stress it to stake it. Okay? Don't stretch your plant to just stake it up. Just be patient and let it do its thing. Look how beautiful these look, guys. Here, let me get under these leaves. Can you guys see under those leaves? Like this, these are beautiful. I'm very happy about this. Now these stakes that I got them from the Home Depot. They were like, I got like 12 of them for like $10. And I actually like them. I'm going to pick up another pack today, and I'm actually going to create like a top for this with them because they are specifically for garden use. So like the molding and all that stuff that be going on when you're using some reusable stuff at times is not going to happen, and I'll be able to have them for a long time. So I'm here for that. But as you see, these watermelon are doing great. Go watch the video. We planted them as little pods. I grew these from seeds. The red watermelons are actually watermelons. These ones are ones that I got from a local supermarket. I ate the watermelon and it was delicious. So I said, oh no, I'm planting some of these. So I did, and here they are. Ta-da! Hey, baby girls. Hey, baby girls. Okay. Oh, Lord, I got to step in here. And y'all, if I fall, y'all better not. If I fall during this video, because I am showing you, don't be kikiing. Because I am bringing information. All right, right here, y'all. Okay, these are pumpkin pods, and don't judge me, y'all. I'm gonna water them. I do have 2 of them down out of the 4. One of the things I'm very fortunate for is I had a very high survival rate when it came to plant pods. So I do have a place for one of these to go today. Then I gotta find a place for another one for them to go, because I really don't like throwing stuff away. I'm actually very, very close to just giving them away, because I already have 2 successfully down. So I might just pod these today, water them, let the nitrogen flow back through them, and just re-gift them, because as you can see, they're about to have leaves and flowers and everything. You know what I mean? This is comparable to a commercial pod. You know what I mean? Especially once I water it and give it a little bit of nitrogen. These behind it on the stakes are cantaloupes, and I planted these from seed also. Melons are relatively easy, guys, to grow. Okay, you need heat, okay, and you keep them watered, but not too much. Heat, sun, you know what I mean, and well draining, all right? Nutrients, they're heavy feeders. Heavy feeder doesn't mean lots of water, guys. It means lots of nutrients. Potassium, nitrogen, phosphate. So a lot of times people say, oh, heavy feeders, lots of water. It does need adequate amount of water. I mean, they're water fruit. But you don't want to make them soggy, you know, in that same essence. So heavy feeder means nutrients. It needs a lot of nutrients, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. You know what I mean? But they're doing great, guys. Look how great they're doing. Look how beautiful, like beautiful. And like I said, I think I'm gonna go run down there this morning and do it, because anything that vines like this and needs to grab on, the better it's able to do so, the more support your fruit will actually have when it begins to grow, and the healthier the plant is, because that's what it wants to do. You know what I mean? So when you have all these little hairs and they're not grabbing on, eventually they die off. You know what I'm saying? And that's really not what you want. You want it to grab on as much as it can, in a way that it's not impeding. Okay, so that's like really important to the growth and the success of your fruit, because you want the actual stem here, you want this to actually be as strong as it can be and get stronger through time to be able to sustain the big watermelons and the fruit that you're about to grow. Even a sugar baby is a nice size if you have dangling from something. So you want this stem to be strong. You want a cantaloupe, stem to be strong if you want to grow a substantial, juicy one. And you know we only grow juicy food. So come on, stems. All right, come on with it. But as we move to the back here, y'all gonna see underneath here, y'all gonna see more collards. Okay, this is urban farming. And if you clicked on this channel and you didn't think you was gonna see collards up front, collards on the wall, and hidden collards, you are on the wrong channel. This is urban farming, and we eat collards on this channel. Please click subscribe. Okay. These are sweet peas. Now, sweet peas are about to go out of season for me. I'm just letting them do their last hurrah, y'all. You know what I mean? In grace, I am watering them. And I am picking the sweet peas off. I have some stored in my freezer. You know what I mean? But they did excellent through the year. Now, I'm not a sweet pea growing expert, all right? But as you see, I still have a couple flowers left on here. Listen, I picks it all. And I'm going to let them naturally die out. You know what I mean? I do see any leaves that I see are dying off to the point that they look nasty. I will pick them off. So I'm going to do some of that today. And y'all see my hidden collards. Holla, hidden collards. You know, and if I got collards, here go the sweet potatoes, baby. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something with growing sweet potatoes. You got to be a neem oil professional to grow sweet potatoes. Because when I tell you things like to eat up on these things, these leaves are phenomenal. They're actually very, very healthy. You know what I mean? Actually, I did a video on eating them, collecting them, freezing them, and eating them after a certain point. When you're ready to pull the vines on these sweet potatoes, take care of the actual leafage right here, because you can eat this. It is very comparable to spinach, and it's very nutritious for you. Very. So I do make a point to take care of these leaves, because anybody that grows sweet potatoes, the leaves are very, very, very abundant. You know what I'm saying? Well ventilation, keep it well ventilated and neem oiled down. You know what I'm saying? So that these like critter bites like that stop happening once it's established. And all those leaves, when you pull this these sweet potatoes out to date, a lot of them you'll be able to harvest enough to make a whole, you know what I mean, pot of food, you know what I mean, like spinach. Look it up, y'all. Look it up. You're gonna be like, what? Look it up, and you cook it just like spinach, y'all. Look it up. And on top of that, now I got the root vegetable underneath, and that's the sweet potato. So that's a 2-for-1 right there. You know what I mean? So now I planted these. They've been in the ground maybe about 3 weeks. They're established. I'm going to go through here, make sure it's nice and ventilated. I am going to retuck some of these vines so that I can maximize my sweet potato count. Okay? And then once I feel like I have enough vineage going on, you know what I mean? Then I'm going to stop and just let it grow. Give it the nutrients that it needs. And we're going to dig those out in September, y'all. And I'm trying to tell you, we finna have some. Now, this bag technique is a new technique that I use. But I can tell you by the way that these tops look, it works. So I'm going to stick with it. You know what I mean? So if you did watch the video on these sweet potatoes, and it was actually a quick one. You know what I'm saying? What I did actually worked a lot. So definitely copy that bad boy. You know what I mean? Because you're about to come out with something. All right. And when we get down here, y'all, this is one of my pumpkins right here that I planted. Ain't she beautiful? My pumpkins I planted. I had to find space for it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm greedy. I be like, I don't want my food to die. So, you know what I mean? I try to make it happen. And I'm going to be honest. This right here with it is a yellow watermelon. I had another yellow watermelon here. And we had a really heavy rainstorm. And I had my polycarbonate window open because I need our ventilation. Okay, but a lot of water actually fell in here and it drowned it out. So hello pumpkin, bam, in there. I will keep you separated because I need you to work. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to harvest probably about a month and a half apart, actually. So as long as you can keep these separated, you're okay. You're okay. A lot of people don't want to do that. The same thing with this watermelon and cantaloupe. You can grow them side by side. Just keep them separate. The vines. You know what I mean? And if you're doing what I'm doing, as far as stakes, like that, you're not going to have a problem doing that. And you're going to be able to grow multiple things in small places just through being more organized. Now, I'm not against chaotic gardening or anything like that. But in situations like this, when I'm urban farming, it's more beneficial for me to be more organized because space is everything, and the way that I'm utilizing the space is everything. Growing up is always going to be something that in urban farming and alternative growing that you're going to want to be able to achieve. So anytime you can grow up, it gives you more opportunity to grow more of it. Okay, because you're not taking up the aerial space. And that's one of the main things with being, besides, you know, the normal things that everybody has to do to grow plants. When you're growing in an urban setting, learning to grow vertically, grow up, you know what I mean, is very key. And being able to utilize all your space. You know what I mean? Because it'll make you think as an urban farmer or somebody that's interested in gardening in an urban area that you were not able to do it because of space. But the sky's the limit, baby. You know what I mean? So we're going to look over here. Y'all know I run my mouth. So we're going to look over here at my broccoli, and we listen here and we don't judge. There's nothing in here, y'all. But I found a space, and I am going to use it. So I'm going to maybe plant like a herb pot or plant some kind of herb. I might put some propagated strawberries in there because I did propagate one, and I need to propagate some more. So this might be a new strawberry pot. Y'all, I got a lot going on. But right here is my broccoli. We listen, we don't judge. I know it is big as all get up out. Okay, because I heavy phosphated this. Like, I have never seen a broccoli stem as thick as I've seen this broccoli stem. And this is not the actual, I don't have no crowns. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't over nitrogen in this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, I do still have a couple weeks left. You know what I mean? But I don't see no crowns. You know what I mean? But it just meant something to me that I was able to get this far with broccoli, y'all, because, baby, I don't know why, but I had struggled with broccoli growing, and this is crazy because this year, you know what I mean, I actually grew this broccoli from seed. So y'all know I'm not trying to rip it down, and I'm very hopeful that I'm going to see at least one broccoli crown nougat. And I mean, look at it, y'all, because that's progress that I wasn't making before. You know what I mean? Now I will say that I phosphated the bejesus out of this broccoli, and that's why it's so big and dinosaurus. You know what I mean? It's prehistoric broccoli. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm being hopeful, and I'm not gonna take it out, y'all, until it die or start making stuff sick, which is not doing either one. So continue to grow broccoli. All right. Now when we get over here, y'all, and this is actually wait, I got one more thing. I thought it was the last thing. See, look, I got one more thing to show y'all. But then I seen something else. Alright, y'all, this right here is actually orange watermelon. Now, it has started growing all bodacious before I got the stakes. So I had to come up with something to try to grow this. And I'm going to roll with it. Now, I might actually cut it in here and then stake it up now, because I got the stakes. And I'm about to go get some more. But like I said, you want it to start grabbing on and stuff soon as it wants to, because that's what adds the strength to the actual watermelon plant. You know what I'm saying? So right here, and y'all can see orange watermelon. I'm really excited about this here in Pennsylvania. Like it's always been a big thing to me. You know, urban farmer. You know, I'm not shy about no watermelon, but people now in Philadelphia are really getting into the orange and the yellow watermelons, and they're delicious. If you've never had them, please go try them. They're absolutely delicious, and you'll love it. You know what I mean? Different than a sugar baby or a crimson, or it's different. So, you know, try it out. Smoother taste, creamier taste in some instances, heartier. But I'm growing them. And right now, y'all, now that yellow's got me a little concerned because I only got one. You know what I mean? So y'all know I'm about to baby it. But it's doing good. It's doing good. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed. That's all we can do. Now, I have an abundance of orange watermelons. Have an abundance of these. It's like 4 orange watermelon plants now. So I'm very confident that I'm going to get something out of there. I have about 6 of these red watermelons. So I'm very confident that I'm going to get something out of there. I have 3 cantaloupe plants down. So I'm confident. You know what I mean? And these are definitely surviving. I don't see no death. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're good. You know what I mean? Like I said, my yellow right here, that's the only one I got. So let's keep our fingers crossed, y'all. But the very last thing inside this polycarbonate house is something I want to show y'all. And this is my sweet potatoes for the fall. And I'm actually growing the slips. And this is how you do it. Okay? You do not go and just throw a sweet potato in the ground. You actually have to grow the slips for it, guys. Okay, and that's what I'm doing right now. And if this is something that you want to do, I really would suggest that you start doing it in the spring, so you have substantial slips. Like, you know, they're worth being planted, they're rooted well, and you'll get really good quality. These are organic sweet potatoes. These are organic sweet potatoes that I ate, and I love the quality of them, so I want the slips from them. All right, and you guys will see over the course of the next couple months how abundant these sweet potato slips get, and as they grow, I will cut them. I will propagate roots on the bottom of them, and I will store them. And I'm actually going to wind up getting rid of some of them because I'm not going to need them all. Whether I sell them on Amazon or through communication with my subscribers, I give them away, but I'm not going to need them all for sure. All right, so that was everything that I got going on inside of my polycarbonate house and out front. Now the last part of this video, guys, we're just going to turn around. Okay, y'all. So now that we outside of the polycarbonate house, here goes a hanging basket that I actually had a cucumber in. And when you go back and watch the video on this, I thought this basket was bigger than what it was because I have one that is bigger than this. And I wasn't paying attention. But because I am watering it and it's patio cucumbers, I am getting the cucumbers. We're going to see how these initial ones do. I am going to string it up today, y'all. But you see how many cucumbers I got growing on here, y'all? Look at all those cucumbers. So I actually have to come out and do some pollination today, hand pollination, to make sure there's another one down there. And I'm going to make sure that this gets strung up today so that nothing can attack it. And I get all the cucumbers that I want off of it. But just from the eye, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cucumbers that want to do their thing, and at least 3 to 4 of them, sorry y'all about the camera view, look pollinated. All right, we're going to move down to one of our strawberry plants. This is one of the strawberry plants that I propagated early in the year. It is doing phenomenal. Now, one thing I can tell you about my strawberry plant, y'all, they do produce a lot of strawberries, but my family be out here grubbing on them drones, okay? And, I mean, when I say grubbing, I mean all in their cereal, all up in their mouth. They just picking them. So, me showing y'all strawberries, I do it often, you know what I'm saying? But in the same essence, I probably grow 3 times as many as you actually get to see, because they're delicious and they're bodacious and they're big. So I'm propagating them as like crazy, and I'm hoping next season I actually have a good portion of a fence covered up and this is all strawberries, because I was really happy with what I grew. Now, when we get up here, y'all, these are grapevines. These are Concords. One is red and one is green. They haven't shown themselves yet, like the Niagaras. Now, don't get discouraged with this, because it does take 3 to 5 years for it to happen, okay? But when it happens, as you see out front, it happens. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest, I use my grapevines, honestly, as disturbance. Because you see how it climbs up on my gated windows. You know what I mean? It gives me a little added privacy in a very urban setting. And it adds beauty to my backyard and my community. I'm winning. And look how beautiful these leaves look. Let's look underneath. The real test of leaves, guys, and this is what I always tell you, look underneath, is underneath the leaf. What does underneath the leaf look like? That this is where the bugs and everything will hide. So when you're able to go leaf by leaf, and this is how I check to see if my plants are sick, I look under the leaf first. Okay? And when you're able to do this, you know you're doing your big one, because these are clean, baby. All right? Now this is, when we move aside, this is my basil, y'all. This is the one unorganized part of my garden. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Still got a little bit of stuff down, but this is the most unorganized part of my garden, y'all, and it drives me nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they're like, it's not as bad. This is basil that I recently what did I do with it, y'all? Recently planted. Okay, and it's doing this big one. It's going to do great. It's in a sunny spot. It's draining good. Great soil quality. It has the nitrogen that it needs. Everything's going to work with it. It popped quick, so I'm actually really happy. And I'm going to give y'all some advice. If y'all live in the Philadelphia area, really don't plant your herbs and have them outside until like the weather genuinely breaks, like after like Memorial Day, because they will come back, and that really affects the progress of their growth. And I did realize that they die a lot faster when you bring them out too early, because even though some of them are cool weather, they're not freezing cold weather. And when you live in Pennsylvania, you know it's like a series of weather in the spring where it's like 70, 40, 30, 80, 70, back again, 40. And you want to keep those herb plants inside until that's over. That's what I would suggest, because you just have less death. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want. You don't want to go around, I'm sorry for the sun glare, y'all. You don't want to go around using a whole bunch of seeds to grow like one tomato. Like, you know what I mean? You really want to have success with it. Now, the next thing I'm about to show y'all right here is my golden raspberry plant. Okay? And if you guys look, I had to propagate this. All right, now I do have 2 golden raspberry plants that I made brand new that I propagated, and It one definitely is working. But when you propagate raspberries, and I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna say, didn't you get raspberries off of this? Are you not supposed to cut it when it does that? Raspberries grow like a weed, guys. And when you do propagate them, you're gonna want to do it in the spring and in the early summer. Okay? Because that's what's gonna give it its jolt to just bam, give me more really quick. You know what I mean? Like, look, I did this a couple days ago. And look, the saplings are already generating brand new. This is brand new. These grow very fast when they're healthy. Okay. Now, I was concerned because, and this is why you should keep the airflow on the bottom good. I had a lot of rain, just like everybody else, and it did catch something. All right, now I am neem oiling this down, and I had to clean the bottom of this raspberry because it was all the way down to the rocks, sitting in the water, and it wasn't no ventilation. You know what I mean? Things started to get a little nasty like this. I am going to come out today and take these leaves off that look a little extra infected and spray it down with the neem oil. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do have it under control. You know what I mean? Because it's not moving anywhere. It's under control. And whatever was on it, I'm killing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's going back to its natural self. The plant overall is not going to be affected. This is something very common with blueberries. You have to propagate them. I'm going to be honest with you. You have to propagate them. If you're not propagating them, pruning them is essential because airflow with these are very important, and they can get disease very quick from what I've experienced. You know what I mean? No matter what instructions I follow to the T, you do need to neem oil these bad boys. Okay? Just like you like to eat them, especially these golden ones, guys, because they have a whole different texture and sweetness compared to the black ones. They're not as seedy, and they're way more juicy. They are a little more tart, but a sweet tart. You'll love it. It's sweet and savory. It's great. Now, right here, y'all, this is one of my blueberry lemonade plants that I got from Fast Growing Trees. Shout out. I got 2 of these, actually. And I bought these as little teeny pods. You know what I mean? Definitely next year, I'm going to have something come out of these. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting anything this year, you know what I mean, except for these to be around other blueberry plants that I purchased out here in the back and help be pollinators. And then I'm hoping that those blueberry plants help these blueberry plants be pollinators because different varieties make your blueberries grow better. Okay? You got to have multiple blueberries in order to grow blueberries really well. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. So I have a blueberry lemonade, and then I have a northern blueberry out here. And together, they're doing great. My northern blueberries are a little older, and they're producing blueberries, and I be fighting the birds for them, okay? Like, I like sharing, y'all, but I've really been fighting these birds, and I've been putting a net. And like I want to show y'all these blueberries today because they are unnetted and it's daytime. You know what I'm saying? But like they really ate all my blueberries off. And I'm not going to show my Roma tomatoes right now. I'm going to get this sun glare out your face, but I'm not going to show my Roma tomatoes right now. But what I am going to show y'all, and I am going to make a short about this. Look what happened. Do you see the beauty that was coming about? I understand why they did it. It looked good. It looked good. It's not even done to look good. But this is the quality that I'm growing. This was like, you know what I mean? Probably about almost 3/4 of the way grown. Because as you see, the color didn't come in it yet. So these are going to be substantial size that I'm growing out in my backyard, and organic. And I see why they thought that was going to be delicious. Great thing that I'm pretty decent at what I do, and I have a substantial amount of these growing. But y'all know I was like, So we definitely upgraded security. All right. Sorry about the sun glare, y'all. I'm going to turn around real quick, y'all. Now, we got to step into the jungle because I'm going to show y'all the last plant on the agenda today. And this is something that I actually propagated years ago, and I thought it was a damn blueberry plant, and it wasn't. I thought it was a Patriot blueberry. We got this from Home Depot, and it was labeled Patriot blueberry. All right. So I bought this along with another blueberry plant, and then I was wondering why my blueberry plant died and this one didn't die, and then why did the leaves look different? You know what I mean? There's something freaky going on. This is a blackberry, y'all. But I'm happy about it. Same situation out here. Sorry, this sun glare. I'm out here. Hey, baby. I like when you touch all up on me. Don't do that in front of the subscribers. Just touch all up on me. All right, anyway. You know how upset I was when I realized that that was a blackberry bush, y'all. And I had not that I propagated, I was upset. But I was mad that they sold me the wrong plant. They had bagged up the wrong plant, and that's when my other plant died. Because like I told y'all, you have to grow blueberry plants with other blueberry plants. You know what I mean? Certain plants you do have to grow like that. Fruit plants. You know what I mean? Pears is another one. You can grow a few without it, but you're not going to be super successful like you want to be. You know what I mean? If you don't have certain plants growing with it, like a companion plant to an extent. But what I will tell you is, why is it sunning? Let me step in the shade, y'all, for you. What I will tell y'all, are we still in the sun? There we go. What I will tell y'all is thank you for watching my June 30th part 2 garden tour. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.